Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people from all over the world, this is G with Scampone Personal Training. Here I'm doing a 30 and 30 ISOPHIT workout. It's 30 positions in 30 minutes. It's been a while since I've done some long-form podcasting in regards to isometrics, so I figured I will do two things at once here. I show you one of my most recent workouts using the ISOPHIT, as well as talk about some long-form content. I've taken a 30-minute video, and I've fast forwarded it to 8 minutes. So I'm figuring this podcast is going to take me about 10 minutes. I want to talk about some of the reasons why I implement isometrics, talk to you a little bit about my journey, and here get into the details, the technicalities, and the feel of isometrics. I've been doing one-on-one personal training for 4 years. 4 years prior to that, I got into coaching football. So in over 8 years coaching workouts, but most recently, one-on-one private personal training sessions. I do isometric work with my clients and with myself using different tools. The great thing about isometrics is you can do them at home right now. If you'd like, you can get a whole exercise program with just using a wall. And it's a good place to get started. If you're just listening to me right now, go up against the wall and do a wall sit, driving your hips into the wall, pressing your chest in the wall, pressing your hands together. But we can talk. We'll talk, you listen, and we can do some isometric positions together. So just pressing your hands together. And you'll take notice what muscles are most activated. And as you're doing that, your specific tension, you're driving with more force through that tension point. Right now it's my chest, my biceps. Okay, so that I got a branch in my neck, but that's what basically isometrics is. I do overcoming isometrics, which is pushing and pulling into an immovable object. It's the day after Christmas. I'm excited. I probably am talking fast. I'm trying to get a lot of information out. It's very interesting how fast isometrics goes, even though you're not moving at all. You're going as slow as humanly possible, but it's going so fast. It's hard to explain. You got to try it. So we're doing that was just some shoulder flexion. I think we're going to go into a front raise here. You'll notice that with these exercises, these are very similar to what we would do in a gym. And I'll point those out as we go through here. Right now I'm doing a front raise as if you would with maybe a pulley system or with dumbbells. With isometrics, you have 30 different opportunities to hit different muscle fibers. So if front raise isn't your favorite exercise, you can throw it in once here. And I suggest every exercise just once, but it's not going to take up too much of your day, too many sets, too many reps. It takes up 45 seconds of your time. So if you want to throw some random stuff in there, by all means. Right now I'm doing a bicep curl at a muscle lengthened position. Studies show that isometrics in the lengthened position is beneficial to hypertrophy. So I'm just working that in here. Here I'm doing a skull crusher. This is 10 upper body, 10 core, 10 low body exercises in a 30-minute time frame. The skull crusher, you're pressing your hands up into the bar here. You're wedging yourself between the floor and the bar. And it looks like now I'm moving on to some core, trunk. I'm doing a crunch here. I'm trying to get spinal flexion. I must say isometrics is fantastic for hips and core. If you want to expand your hip and core routine, you should probably try some isometrics. Here we're going with a side plank. Here you like to keep everything stacked up. It's important while you're doing isometrics to understand what legs need to be straight, what joints need to be straight, what joints need to be bent. Because if you're locked out in a specific joint, the force is going to move, more force can be added to the next joint up. So if you create fulcrums through the whole body, you got to understand that your musculature is being spread out. Okay, so I'll talk you through that here. What muscles needed, what joints need to stay fixed, and what can move. Okay, so the side plank, ISOPHIT's what we're using here. Okay, so one thing to note with some isometric positions is you're using the body. So you're manipulating the body. And sometimes when you do that freely, you get yourself into some positions that are not ideal, that are not aesthetically pleasing, like this one right here. So, that's why it's important sometimes with some people to work with a trainer privately. So you can be in a position like this where you're not embarrassed or anything like that, especially if you're new to strength training. You got to have confidence or have a sense of comfortability as you're doing exercise. So what I'm trying to say is work with a personal trainer. Okay, legs straight. This one's really hard for me. I think this is the only exercise in the whole workout that I put my feet down to rest. Otherwise, I try and keep the legs as straight as possible so that the force goes to the hip flexors and to the low abs. Okay, here we go with a little spinal trunk flexion. I work with golfers, and how am I centered on this thing? I work with golfers, and I try to get them set up in a better golf position and posture and stance. You could use isometrics doing that, just like flexion, extension, rotation of the trunk. That all benefits golfers. Okay, here we go to the lower body sequence. This is program number 15. This is the last program of the 15 protocol set. Here, how did I explain that? There's 15 different workouts you can do. This is number 15. That was a knee bent squat, and here is more of an upright position. I like programming similar exercises just at different joint angles. So the more bend you have in the squat, the harder it's going to be. Although this one is really hard though too. So then I move on to the reverse squat. And I like this because anything of reversal, if you guys know Ben Patrick, I think that's his name. I should know his name. He's a knee over toes guy. He likes reverse out knee pain, so he does reverse walks with the sled. This is a similar feel here. This is reverse out squat pain is what I'll call it. So you're doing a reverse squat. This is like hip flexion, and you're standing tall. Again, trying to keep the left leg as straight and tall as your posture. Those are some coaching cues I like to use: is tall posture, not leaning to one side or the other. This is going to allow you to focus on that exercise. Okay, again, going back to how beneficial the hips are, here we go with a hip bridge. You got 45 seconds to get those glutes and hamstrings fired up. So manipulate your body how you need to feel. Like you can push your feet towards you. It's going to get more hamstring as you're doing this. There's just different things. There's levels to this, but all of them are beneficial. Even if you just start at the beginner phase where you're just holding yourself in place, you're going to feel a huge relief of just greatness. So, wow. In my rant there, I may have missed, okay, leg extension. I really like this one a lot. This is like your seated knee extension. You know what I'm saying right here? But you can do it with this. You're trying to dorsiflex your ankles, keep your back flat, keeping good angles here. Just your basics, compound exercises, lots of fulcrums there, 90 degrees, where you want to be, applying pressure. Here you go, the leg press. So again, 90 degrees, feeling all the muscles that torque around the axis points of the knees and the hips. And man, applying pressure and staying focused and breathing and taking huge deep breaths, sometimes short, quick breaths. Focus on your breathing. Wow, I can't explain to you how many meaningful deep breaths you get doing isometrics. Just in this set alone, 45 seconds at a deficit deadlift. I hope I'm not talking too fast. But like the last 15 seconds, you're focused on breathing. And how many times a day can you say that you do that you're focused on intentional breath work? So you get that while you're engaging your muscle fibers. It's not, you don't want to roll the shoulders over. Wow, guys. So, wow, workout's over. It's time flies when you're having fun, right? So that was just a 30 and 30 workout by ISOPHIT. Some reasons why I do isometrics is because the force always matches you. So it's always going to match your output, no matter what you're pressing and pulling into. If you're pressing at 100 pounds, it's going to match 100 pounds. Also, not as much wear and tear on the joints. You're in a fixed position. Feeling the body being tall, pressing the bones and the muscles in a stretch position as you're applying force, trying to open things back up, trying to rebound from our onset, our roundedness here. The tension in the ligaments and the tendons, along with the muscle fibers, you feel taller after a set. You feel like you've activated all of the connective tissue, and you feel the connective tissue, but in a way where you're keeping it stable and strong. Does anybody out there do isometrics? And has anybody made it to 9 minutes and 52 seconds, 9 minutes and 55 seconds, 9 minutes and 56 seconds, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes? Okay, so you could have done an isometric workout in 10 minutes. I've been thinking about just doing an at-home follow-along workout, maybe 20, 25, 30 minutes of body and wall isometric holds just to get you to do it. But, you know, you don't have to do it at the same time, too. I'm like, not going to control you or anything like that. I want you to do what you want to do. I'm just trying to give you some information, some tidbits out there, some value. If you take, we're in 10 minutes and 35 seconds. If you take maybe 14 seconds of value out of this video, is it worth your time? Yes, I think so. But even more, what would be more worth your time would be to think. You can listen to a podcast as you're doing isometrics. So you can be taking in this content as you're doing isometrics. Now we're getting a lot done here, people. In a short amount of time, we're getting a lot done. Let's see, what else can I say? I think that's about it. You can do it. You can do it daily. You can do it twice a week. You can do it once a week. I find that it's most fun at a rate of once to twice a week. So, or as you go into the gym, another way to get this started is as you go into the gym, take the time on different machines to either start in an isometric hold or to finish in an isometric hold, a static hold, for maybe 15 seconds at a time. You know, if you really wanted to just set up a machine, like I'll sometimes take the leg press and put it on the heaviest weight so that I can't move the weight stack. And I just press into the foot plate with a gradual increase of effort and tension. And 45 seconds to 90 seconds, I'll use that as an intense low body. Wow. I just had my fan going the whole time. I wonder how that's going to sound. I should have probably turned that off. Wow. Let me check this out. Okay, I'm going to end the show here. Land the plane, isometrics, over and out.